welcome to my channel. If you're returning, welcome back. Good to see you again. So if you're new to my channel, a lot of my videos will be DIYs, home projects, beauty DIYs, shopping with me, and for the first time today, I'm going to be doing a story time video. So for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you may have seen that I posted on my video stories that I said goodbye to my darling Subaru, my 2012 Subaru Outback. And I got a 2021 Subaru Legacy. But I wanted to just come on and share the story behind it because it wasn't a planned purchase. It just kind of all fell together along with other things that happened before. And it kind of just came full circle. So I wanted to share that story with you all. I've never done a story time, and I wanted to just get a little more personal with you all about saying farewell to my Subaru. I named her Subie. So Subie is no longer with me, but I just wanted to share because I'm not sure if you're like me, but it wasn't just like saying goodbye to an old car and getting a new one. There was some things that happened a little bit before and things that were going on with me in my personal life where everything just kind of came full circle, and it was a wonderful experience. Sad, but also a really exciting experience. And I don't know if you're like me, where like with objects, it's not just like about an object or a car or a house or material things. Sometimes there's an emotional connection, there's memories connected to it. So if you're like me, comment below, share about a time when you had to let go of your car, whether it was because of an accident or because you had to sell it. And you know, it's that car, that object becomes part of your life. It becomes part of your memories. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into my story time about saying goodbye to Subie. Face this video. I have never purchased a brand new car. I never had a brand new car under my name. My very first car was a hoopty. We all know what the hoopty is. I paid like $800 cash for it when I was 18 or 19, and it was constantly breaking down. I was putting in more money for it than I actually paid for it. The auto mechanics were taking advantage of me because I knew nothing about cars and I didn't have anyone in my life that knew anything about cars. Long story short, that was my very first car. It was really cute though, little 87 Nissan Sentra. It broke down on the highway, and when I called the tow truck people, the guy laughed because I was just out of gas and I didn't even realize it. I totally forgot that you're supposed to fill up a car with gas. So yeah, it was really bad, you guys. Then the second time that it actually broke down on the highway, I just told the tow truck guy's son who was there to keep it. He was really excited. They had a whole lot full of old cars and he liked to race the car. So I said, you know what, keep the car. And they literally dropped me off at home and they kept the car. So that was my first car. That was my hoopty. But this car, Subie, my second car, I think this car had more of an emotional tie to me. So that's why I think it was a little more, emotional when I let her go, because I had her for like about 4 years, maybe a little over 4 years, and there was a lot of memories made in her. So it was very different from my first hoopty car. The hoopty car was like, keep it, good riddance, and I had no emotional connection to it. So this all started on last Friday. Today is Wednesday. Last Friday, I was coming home from doing some errands and I got a flat tire. It wasn't just like a slow flat tire. It was like a big flat tire. Like I could feel it immediately. I started to hear my rim. Luckily, I was close to home, so I was able to come into my community, drive into my park in my driveway. And I called my mechanic to get a new tire. Now, there was a brand new spare with all the tools to change my wheel in the trunk of my car, which I had no idea it was there until I brought it to the dealership. But to be honest, you guys, even if I did know it was there, I have no idea how to change a spare tire. I know some people say it's easy, but I wasn't about to change a spare tire on the road right on the spot by watching a YouTube video. Like, you can get hurt like that. So anyway, I pulled into my driveway and I called my insurance. I scheduled the towing to come on Monday because my auto mechanic couldn't see me until Monday. Now, I had already had an appointment scheduled for Subie. We're going to call my Subaru Outback 2012 Subie. Okay, her name is Subie. So I had already had an appointment for Subie scheduled on Friday. Okay, to have like a whole bunch of things fixed. Like I had her for about 4.5 years, and it was coming to that point where I was more consistently taking her to the auto mechanic to get things fixed, which was kind of making me nervous. So a little backstory on Subie. I didn't personally pick out Subie. When I got Subie, I was married at the time. My husband knew more about cars. He went to the dealership. He did research. He found something that he knew would be reliable, that was spacious. And pretty much he knew I would like the inside. I am a sucker for beige leather interior. Subie had beige leather interior and the wood details, very classy. I loved it. So he picked out the car. I went to go see it. I gave it the thumbs up, and then I purchased the car. So that was about 4 years ago, maybe 4.5 years ago. So Subie was really great. We made a lot of memories in her. You know, we used to drive her to New York, and she was a very reliable car, and I loved her. Now, my husband and I separated in January 2020, and that's when I kind of my life just began. I just started fresh. Like I purchased my new home, which I'm in right now. I got all new furniture. Everything was brand new in my life, and I was making a fresh start. And Subie was the only large object, like the relic, that had a connection to my life as a married woman. Now, I didn't realize how emotional it was going to be until, I went to the dealership, okay? So again, I started to have to get Subie fixed a little bit more consistently. And to be honest, it started to concern me because, I have to commute in the winter and I'm going back to work for this next school year. So I was a little bit nervous about that. So I just so happened I was stranded at home on the weekend because my car had a flat tire. And where I live, if you're familiar with the Bushkill area, and a lot of Pennsylvania areas, you can't just Uber a car or call a taxi. Like, I live pretty deep in, and it doesn't work that way. So I was fine with it. I'm used to being quarantined anyway. So I stood home that weekend, and I was waiting for Monday to come around. And Sunday, I was just happened to check my emails. I was watching a movie, and I checked my emails, and I received an email from the dealership that I purchased Subie from. And they were promoting all these deals and everything about how you can trade in your car, purchase a car, no down payment, whatever down payment. And I said, I was just curious. I was like, let me just check it out. So I went on and I was just looking at the inventory because one car that I've always wanted, was a white, smaller sedan, something with beige leather interior and very sexy looking, not for attention, but just something that matches your personality. You know how they say your animals, your pets match your personality? Well, I wanted a car that was more me. And I think with Subie, because my husband picked it, it was a reflection of our life together. It was a wagon, a bigger family car. And, I was at a new stage now. I am freshly divorced. We were separated in January 2020. But right before Subie started breaking down, I had also got my divorce paper in the mail. So it was like the complete end of my marriage. And now I felt like Subie was kind of also just letting me know that her time was up too. So I went on the website and I was just checking out their legacies. I wasn't planning on going in or buying anything. And they had some really cute legacies. They had several different colors, nice interiors. And then they had a portion where you could enter your car to see the value trade-in. Now, I didn't think that they were going to take my car because maybe a few months ago, I tried to see if I could trade in my car, which was at the same dealership that I bought it, for a newer car, and it was declined. For some reason, they said they couldn't take my car. So I put it in this calculator thing, and it tells you how much your car is worth. And it told me my car was worth about maybe $6,000, which I thought was pretty good for a 2012, especially in this time right now. So I was like, okay, that's cool. And I'm just looking on the website. Then while I'm still on the website, I get a phone call from the dealership, and they're like, hey, I see that you're looking at our legacies. We do have some in stock. I see that you're looking for a trade-in. Do you want to make an appointment to come take a look? And I was like, okay. And I figured I might as well, because I was off that Monday because I had to take my car to go get a brand new wheel anyway. So I was like, sure, I'll go in on Monday. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm just going to take a look, see what they have in the future. I'll get something newer, something more reliable. So Monday morning, the tow truck guy came. I hopped in with him. He towed my car, dropped me off at the auto mechanic. got my tire fixed. Now that was this Monday that just passed. So today's Wednesday, that was 2 days ago. And when I was leaving the auto mechanics, I let him know that I would see him on Friday because I had more work to get done in my car. So I took my car to the cleaners, to the car wash. I got a nice car wash, vacuumed it out, so that way when they inspect the car, it's nice and clean. They see that I keep it in good shape, even though they don't know that when I eat in it, I'm dropping food everywhere. But I do keep my car pretty clean. I think that's, I don't know, it just makes me feel good. So I headed to the dealership. And when I went in, I just told them, that I was looking to see if I could trade in my car. They also ran my car information in. They said, again, it was worth $6,000 and that they could apply that to a new car. So I said, okay, cool. Let's see what you guys have. Although I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it based on the payments and everything. So I was working with a really great sales guy. He took me to another lot. We looked at all the Legacies. Now I was looking for a white Legacy with beige leather interior. They didn't have any white Legacies with beige leather interior. They had white Legacies with fabric. My personal preference, I don't like fabric on my cars. I feel like they suck in odor and they hold on to odors, and it's just harder to wipe things down. And if you're like me and you need a bib when you eat, you want to have some leather interior so that you can just wipe off the ketchup, the mustard, or whatever you're eating. So the cars that they did have with leather was black. And I don't know what it is. I just don't like black leather interior. I like beige. So I'm a little disappointed that they didn't have exactly what I wanted. So we came back to the dealership and we realized that there was one Legacy on the lot that had beige leather interior, but it wasn't white. So I said, you know what? I'm not like stuck on the white thing. I would prefer white, but sure, let's take a look at it. So this one was bronze and we went right outside. It was right by the door. Looked inside, beautiful inside, beige leather interior, black detail, very classy but sporty, 2021. And I like the beige because from far it looks like a beige, but it's actually bronze. So when you come closer, it has like a little shimmer to it. And I said, this one's really great. This one's it. So, we ran some numbers and I was able to trade in my car for this car. Now, while he was kind of back and forth doing the paperwork, I was just like sitting there. And all of a sudden, you guys, it just hit me. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not going to see Subie anymore. This is my last time with Subie. I'm not going to ever drive her again. I'm not ever going to go anywhere with her. And all of a sudden, you guys, I'm not even kidding, I got so emotional. And, I had to hold it in. He came back. He said, you know what? Why don't you go get some lunch? Because it's going to be about 45 minutes to an hour so we can get all your paperwork ready. So for me, it was like perfect because I was getting emotional. So I said, great, no problem. I'll be back in an hour. So I walked to Subie and I drove her to Panera. I got my food. I parked in the parking lot. And it just hit me right there that it was the last time I was going to ever be in this car. And it represented like the end of an era for me. You know what I mean? The end of a chapter in my life. The close, my divorce papers that just come in. And now I was, this was the last large object, the last big part, the last big thing in my life that was connected to my life as a married woman. And it was really sad, not in the sense that I was sad the marriage was over, because it was something that I needed to do for myself, and I'm much happier now and I feel much healthier now. So it wasn't that I was sad because I wanted to still be married. It was just sad because, you grow an attachment to your car. I don't know if anyone ever feels that way. I grew an attachment to my car. It was like, she's been there for me. She's been a reliable car. And it was just really that complete closed chapter, and it just came full circle, with my home. My new home purchase, all new furniture, and then like the divorce papers coming in, and now like a brand new car. So this was literally the last, material evidence or piece from that part of my life. And it was sad, whether it was a good part of my life or whether it was not a good part of my life, it's still sad to let something go. So I turned on the music and I just cried. And you might think I'm silly, but I thanked Subie. I thanked Subie for being such a great car, for getting me through. I thanked God for Subie and for, the chance to move on now and for this closed chapter in my life. And I cried. And it wasn't just like a tear, you guys. It was like, I cried. It was like, you would think Subie was a person. You know what I mean? So I cried, and then, I cleaned my face, ate my food, drove back to the dealership. And I felt so much better. I felt relieved. I think I needed to let that out. And I knew that it was the right thing to do. And it was like, it just came full circle, everything in God's time, you guys. So they had my old Subaru, they had Subie parked, and they had my new car parked next to her. And I was taking out my belongings, putting everything in my new car. And the sales guy was like, do you want me to take a picture of you in front of your beautiful new car? And I said, no, but can you take a picture of me in front of Subie? Because I want to just say goodbye to her. And he started to laugh because most people want a picture with their new car. So he started to laugh, and I just hugged Subie. I hugged her, made a sad face. He took a photo. So he laughed. He showed me all the features of the car. And when I got into the car, it was like, it felt so good. It was just like confirmation. Like I knew, this is it. This is the ending. And it wasn't me forcing it. Like I said, everything in God's time. I didn't force it. It just kind of happened. I wasn't planning on getting a new car. I sat in it, and it felt more like me, like the old Subaru, the Subie represented the me that was married, that kind of compromised a lot of who I was and just went with the flow. And my new car was like, I'm back. This is totally me. It represented my personality more. And it was like, I felt like I was getting a piece of me back too, if that makes sense. So I was very excited. She's beautiful inside. I don't know how to work everything yet. And I felt relieved. There was no more sadness. I let it go. And I just told him, just make sure you find someone good for Subie, someone to take care of her. And he said, yeah, he laughed, whatever. And then I drove off, and yeah, it felt amazing. It was just a really great feeling to be starting completely fresh and not have any connection to my old life. Yeah, and it was just really a great experience, you guys. So let me know if you've had any similar experiences where you have material things that have a connection to an old part of your life, and like you're starting new, and you have that same type of experience where it's just time to start fresh, you guys, and time to start new. And yeah, so I really love my car. I don't have a name for her yet, but maybe you guys can help me when you see her. She is let me just tell you what it is. And yes, it's a she. I don't know. A lot of people, like they say, when you're female, you name your car after a male. And when you're male, you name your car after female. I don't know. I didn't know that those were the rules, but I just named my car females for some reason. Anyway, it is a she. She is a 2021 Subaru Legacy Limited. She is in the color Brilliant Bronze Metallic, and the inside of her is beige leather interior with black details. And I feel like this is just on time because as I realized that for the first time, I was consistently taking Subie to the car shop. It was making me nervous because, winters are bad here in PA. And last winter, I was able to stay home because of COVID, so I worked from home. But this winter coming up, I'll be going back to work, and I needed a reliable car that the GPS worked. Like Subie is an older version, so the GPS is like they put a CD and they install a program. It wasn't connected to Wi-Fi, so like she would get me lost a lot of the times. It still had a CD player. I would have to crank in the key, and she started to make weird sounds, and like she looked really good, but she started to sound like a hoopty, you know what I mean? So it was good to get in a car where you just start it and it's like a nice quiet sound, and I feel more secure with like just being able to type in the address and the GPS and not worrying about having to use my phone. So it's also a lot for safety issues. And something that I really like about the new car is, which again, when you see her, please help me pick out a name for her. I don't have a name for her just yet. But another great thing about the 2021 Legacy that I got is that I leave work extremely early, to go to work. And I used to have to go out, start the car, let it warm up in the freezing winter, and then come back in and then go back out to drive. With this new Legacy, oh my goodness. I didn't believe this. You're not going to believe this. I can start my car from my phone in the house. I can start it. I can adjust the temperature, turn on the seats, do everything from my house while I'm putting on my sneakers, putting on my coat. And by the time I step out the door and get in my car, she is all warmed up and ready to go. And all this while the doors are locked. I don't have to go out, when it's really dark and whatever. So it's also a safety issue. And I can also track her. God forbid it gets stolen. I have a tracker on my phone that will alert me if anyone has entered the car. So it's really great. So that's also another thing. It's also a safety issue for me. And just having more of a sense of security when I do go back to work. So I know you're all waiting for this. Without further ado, I'm going to give you a quick little tour of my brand new Legacy. I do not have a name for her yet. I'm still thinking of a name. So if you want to drop some comments below and give me some ideas for a name for her, feel free to do so. Let's go take a quick little tour of her. I'm going to do a separate video that's going to be a more in-depth tour of the Legacy, as well as all the features and things that it offers. So that'd be a separate video. This one, I'm just going to show you how pretty she is. And yeah, so let's go take a look at my brand new 2021 Subaru Legacy. So I'm not sure if you guys saw my Amazon video where I ordered all these accessories and everything for my car. I kind of had to repurchase some because they match. So these keys I had purchased from Amazon. I'm going to get a new one because it doesn't match like the new interior of the new car. And I had to take out the little garbage bag because it's also a darker beige, and these seatbelt cushions. So I ordered a black one for the new car, and I'll probably get a different color beige for the new car as well, and different little keys because, you know, I like things to be pretty, you know? Just one of those girls. All right, so let's go. All right, so here she is. Again, she is that bronze metallic, and I like it because when the sun comes out, you can't see it now. It's a little bit cloudy, but it looks very like sparkly. I love the wheels because they're thin. You know, I love the front parts. She just looks a little, you know, like a city car. She looks sassy. And also there's lights on the windows there. It's a 4-door. Let me just zoom out real quick. It has a smaller trunk, but it's a really good sized trunk. And I like that little fin there. I don't know what that is, but it's really cute. And I don't even have to press anything. As long as I'm near her with this, it'll automatically open. So I'm going to show you guys the inside. And here she is. Look how beautiful. Oh, yes, it smells like brand new car. So it's like a beige leather interior, but it's not like a yellowy beige. You see the difference? Where my old car had like that orangey yellowy beige. This is more like a off-white beige with black. Super sporty. I love it. Very classy and stylish and sporty, just like me. But yeah, and then the glove compartment, it has this new little slot where you can like put in the phone, the passenger over here. And you guys, heated steering wheel. Yes, I used to get into my old car in the winter to go to work, and my hands would be freezing. This one has a heated steering wheel, which is amazing. Okay, which one's the gas and which one's the brake? Let me just turn it on. Oh, yes. Listen to that. It's so quiet and nice. And then I have this large screen here with the radio and the GPS, which I'm still learning how to use. I actually have to play with this. I don't know how to use like any of this, to be honest. Nice, huge screen. I can control things from here as well. But just really nice overall. These two sensors help me to stay in the lane. Let's say I'm sleepy or whatnot. It has a sunroof. Still nice and roomy. Those seats fold down and I have the nice trunk space. But yeah, this is her. So yeah, so this is her. I absolutely love this car. And like I said, I'll do another video that's going to show you like all the features, because to be honest, I don't know all the features. I just got the car, so I have to kind of play around with it. But yeah, I'm going to share more of those features in a separate video, like a review, showing you about all the features for the 2021. But that's all for my story time, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to my story about my saying goodbye to Subie and saying hello to this lovely beast here. Again, please feel free to drop me a comment. Let me know what you think I should name her. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and let me know if you like these types of story time videos. Yeah, and be on the lookout for the other video where I'm gonna do a more in-depth like tour and review of all her features. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe, stay blessed, and until next time, ciao.
Ooh.